Have you ever had a day so picture perfect you almost don't want to breathe too hard for fear you'll mess it up? The kind of afternoon where the sunlight hits just right, the burgers are sizzling on the grill, and the only thing louder than the kids' laughter is your own sense of satisfaction that, hey, maybe you're actually nailing this whole life thing. That was me, a regular Saturday in suburbia, flipping hot dogs with one hand, high-fiving my daughter Maya with the other, thinking this right here is what it's all about. Until, of course, it wasn't. Because right in the middle of Maya's birthday party, her eighth, the one I'd planned like a NASA launch with a bouncy castle, a face painter, and even a real live pony named Sprinkles, came the scream of sirens, the flash of blue and red across the backyard, and the sharp, cold realization that my moment of peace had just been evicted. And let me tell you, nothing kills the vibe faster than watching your HOA president, Barbara Miller, march up to the edge of your property in a blazer so pink it'd make Pepto-jealous arms crossed and scowl locked in aiming her phone at your rainbow-colored slice of happiness. Now, if you've ever tangled with an HOA president who thinks the bylaws are the Ten Commandments and she's Moses, you'll know what I mean. Barbara didn't just police the neighborhood, she policed the mood. She saw herself as the gatekeeper of order, wielding her power with all the subtlety of a sledgehammer. We'd been living on Chestnut Drive for 3 years, the only black family in our cul-de-sac, and from day one, Barbara had made us her personal project. Trash cans out 2 hours early. That's a warning. Jazz too soft for her taste. That's a violation. Lawn flowers too bright. Don't even get me started. But this was a new level. On Maya's birthday, Barbara didn't even bother with a hello. She just started recording, her lips pinched so tight it looked painful. I gave her a polite wave. Hey, neighbor. Beautiful day, right? But she was having none of it. Instead, she marched over, pointed at the bouncy castle like it was a nuclear reactor, and started quoting the bylaws. Article 7, Section 4, unauthorized commercial events. I tried to joke it off, told her, Barbara, it's not a Coachella lineup, it's a kid's birthday party. But she doubled down, complaining about noise levels and citing decibel limits like she was running a city council meeting. My patience was running thin, but I kept it together until Maya saw Barbara recognize the tension and ducked behind my leg. That was it. That was the moment I decided enough was enough. I told Barbara in front of the other parents that she was no longer welcome on my property, that we were having a private party for our child, and that she needed to leave. She looked stunned, like she'd never been challenged before. And then, almost like it was on cue, she snapped. She whipped out her phone, dialed 911, and started spinning a story about an illegal, dangerous gathering. But the real kicker, the thing that made this feel less like a suburban spat and more like an act of war, was when she marched right onto my patio, made a beeline for Maya's unicorn cake, and stomped it into oblivion. Not once, but twice. Then she flung party favors and lemonade everywhere, like she was christening a ship. The look on Maya's face, that heartbreak, that confusion, man, I'll never forget it. That was the moment the sirens arrived and the cops stepped out onto my front lawn, one grizzled and calm, the other young and nervous. Barbara, of course, greeted them like she was the star witness on Law and Order, spinning her tale of chaos and non-compliance. I just stood there, letting her dig her own grave. When it was finally my turn, I laid it out. My name's David Wright. This is my house, and today was supposed to be a little girl's birthday party until my neighbor trespassed and destroyed my daughter's cake. Simple as that. One of the other dads, Tom, quietest guy at school, pickup, stepped up. She did it on purpose, he said, his voice shaking with anger. We all saw it. The cops looked at the shoe print in the cake, looked at Barbara's sensible shoes, and realized this wasn't some misunderstanding. They asked if I wanted to press charges, and let me tell you, part of me wanted to see her hauled away right then. But I shook my head. Not today, I said. There's been enough ugliness. I told them the whole thing was on my security cameras every second. The officers nodded, gave me a card with a case number, and told Barbara to go home. After the dust settled, Lena hugged me in the ruins of what should have been the best day of Maya's year, asking why I didn't go nuclear. Because that's what she wants, I said. She wants a brawl, something public, something she can twist to make herself the victim. This was bigger than cake. It was about being targeted, about being made to feel like we didn't belong. But Barbara had escalated, and she had no idea who she was dealing with. See, by day I work for the Department of Housing and Urban Development. I know housing law backwards and forwards. I'd already been documenting everything, the notices, the double standards, the way Barbara enforced rules on us and nobody else. I started pulling receipts, emails, photos of neighbors violating the same bylaws with zero consequence statements from other parents who'd witnessed the chaos. Then I called in some favors. Hector, my old security consultant buddy, upgraded our cameras until we had crystal clear footage of every inch of our property, audio and all. Next, I reached out to Evelyn Reed, one of the sharpest civil litigators I know, and laid out 3 years of Barbara's selective enforcement and harassment. Evelyn was practically giddy, David. We're not just building a case, we're building a bonfire. Sure enough, as soon as Barbara thought the heat was off, she got bold again. New rules about flower colors aimed straight at Lena's petunias. Another warning about a delivery truck. While neighbors got a pass for mulch deliveries 3 times as big, even audio of her complaining about us to anyone who'd listen. It all went into the file. The last straw, she showed up at a quiet dinner we hosted, standing at the fence filming our guests, then shouting at us for loud music. It was the perfect shining example of intentional harassment, and we caught every second of it. So when the demand letter hit 14 pages of legal thunder sent to every HOA board member, not just Barbara, the reaction was immediate. The board panicked. Their own lawyer told them they were in a world of trouble, willful discrimination, harassment, emotional distress, the works. The insurance company didn't want to touch it. In the end, Barbara's allies turned on her in a closed-door meeting so fierce the walls probably still echo. She tried to fight, but it was over. 4-1, she was out, forced to resign, ordered to apologize. Her petty edicts rescinded her legacy, reduced to a cautionary tale. The public meeting where they announced it all, you could cut the tension with a butter knife. Barbara tried to grandstand, ranting about being bullied and outsiders ruining Brighton Meadows. That's when the cops walked in, SGT Peterson himself, arrest warrant in hand, all thanks to the video evidence and those charges I'd been saving. Barbara went pale, then red, then just hollow. In front of everyone, she was cuffed and let out the sound of clapping slowly building as relief washed over the room. We threw Maya a second birthday party after that, a real one with the same bouncy castle, same face painter, and yes, Sprinkles the pony back in action. The neighborhood felt different, lighter. Parents stayed, chatted, brought wine and casseroles. Gary, the new HOA president, stopped by with a gift for Maya and apologized for everything. Barbara. She took a plea, paid a fine, was ordered to stay 100 yards from my family, and put her house on the market the next day. As the sun set on that new perfect afternoon, Lena handed me an iced tea, and we watched Maya running around laughing with her friends, her face painted like a rainbow butterfly. The house felt safe again. Our joy, our right to just be, had survived. And as I sat there breathing in the peace I'd fought so hard to protect, I realized justice isn't about revenge. It's about patience, principle, and having the courage to hold the line. The beige tyrant of Chestnut Drive is gone. Lena's petunias have never looked brighter. So tell me, have you ever had a neighbor from hell or tangled with an HOA run amok? Drop your story down below. I want to know how you found your peace, too.